because our senses are not perfect, mind is contaminated, limited. So it's very difficult for people to see things as they are. Therefore, the human being is advised they should go to the Shastra, they should go to the Holy Scripture, and then from the Vedas they can find out what is actually happening. What we are seeing in the external world is a kind of illusion known as Maya. And how we see the illusion depends on how we have developed our consciousness. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains that some people are in the mode of goodness, some are in the mode of passion or rajas, and some are in mode of tamas or ignorance. Now, when someone is in the mode of goodness, they naturally become more happy. They are not worrying about themselves, but they are concerned about the welfare of everyone. So the nature of someone in mode of goodness is to be happy. Then there's a mode of passion or rajas. The nature of someone in the mode of rajas is to become very jubilant, very happy, and very frustrated and very angry, very sad. To go up and down. To be very anxious, then very happy, then again very anxious. So, if we want to get rid of stress and anxiety, we have to know how to get out of the mode of passion. Now, normally what people do to get out of passion is they go into ignorance. In ignorance, we don't know what is going on properly. We are not able to see things beyond a very limited perspective. And we don't know exactly what we're doing, why we're doing it. We may be also heading to a very dangerous situation, but we're not aware. Ignorance is bliss, because we don't know what's happening. So, normally what happens is that people, to get out of stressful condition, they take intoxication. They drink. Take whiskey or brandy or beer or some kind of intoxication. Maybe they smoke marijuana or hashish or ganja or something. And they go into some like anesthesia. When we're in the hospital, they put us asleep. So we are putting the mind partially asleep so that we don't know what's going on. So that frees us from the stress and anxiety of the mode of passion. But that type of relief is very negative, because while we're in ignorance, we are not able to do anything constructive. Our family life, our professional life, our spiritual life, for sure, everything is hampered. Where, on the other hand, we can get out of the stress by coming up to the platform of goodness, pure goodness, where we are actually someone who is a normal goodness. They are just concerned about welfare of everyone. So because they're not worried about their self, they're not feeling so much anxiety or stress. But a little bit of anxiety they're feeling because they're worrying about everybody else. But if someone fixes their mind on Krishna or Vishnu, Krishna or any of his expansions, like Narayana, Rama, Balaji, Guru Vairappan, if we fix our consciousness on the Supreme, then immediately we can become freed from this anxiety and stress. Bhajahure mana Sri Nandanandana abhaya charanara vindare. Bhajahure mana Sri Nandanandana abhaya charanara vindare. Pralabha manava Janama satsange taroho e bhava sindure. Dulabha manava janama satsange taroho e bhava sindure. So, when we are focusing our consciousness, Hare Krishna, hello, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. When we are fixed in Krishna, then we become abhoya, we become freed from various kind of anxiety. There's a story about Lord Indra and about Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was telling Mother Parvati what was the glories of the 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Mother Parvati wanted to know what was the Mahatmya of the 18th chapter. So Lord Shiva explained that one time on Mount Meru, in the city of Amaravati, Indra was having his capital. Indra Rajdhani was there in the city of Amaravati at that time. So, one day, Indra was sitting on his throne, and the Apsaras were dancing, and the Gandharvas were singing, and the Pandits were singing his glories. There was all kinds of opulence there in Indraloka. And then Indra could see in the distance that there was some Brahmana who was being escorted by Vishnu Dutas or messengers of Lord Vishnu. And he was some distance away, but he was looking very powerful. So that Indra, he got off of his Rajasan Singhasana and he went to see what was going on with the Brahmana. Soon as he got off his seat, the Vishnu Dutas took the Brahmana and put on the seat of Indra. And they installed him as the new Indra, performed Abhishek. Then immediately all the Gandharvas started to glorify him. Indra sat on his lap, other was dancing, everything was going on, and the old Indra wondered what happened. I was just Indra, now I'm out of a job. And why this one became Indra? I performed 100 Aswamedha Yajnas. I went to the Godavari. I went to the temple of Shiva, to temple of Durga. I went to every place throughout the entire world. And I planted trees on the roadside. I dug wells for people to drink from. I did so many punya karmas to be an Indra. But he didn't do anything like that. Why he's got the position? Not fair. So that Indra became full of stress and anxiety, the old Indra. Why he lost his position? So he went to see Lord Vishnu, who was in the ocean of milk. And he went and he prayed to Vishnu, why is this happening? Why was I taken out of my position, and why was the new Indra placed in the position? So my dear Lord, I performed all this Aswamedha 100 yajnas, I performed so many tapasyas and penances, I did so many charitable works. Why I lost my position and why this person got the position? And Vishnu smiled. Lord Narayana, Lord Vishnu smiled and said, not coming, sound. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Another one. This one is there. Hare Krishna. Sound is coming there. Hare Krishna. Sound is coming from the sound box. Okay? So, that Hare Krishna. Even I this up made a difference. Hello. Hare Krishna. Somehow they got the whole thing set up wrong. So constantly conch shells are blowing in this system, you see. Fan is off now. No, now. Fan was creating trouble. Okay. So Lord Vishnu smiled and told that Indra, what is the use of doing pious activities that bring only small fruits? They're only bringing small fruits. So what is the use? And what is the use of penance and austerity? This Brahmana has satisfied me when he was on the earth. He pleased me, therefore I have given him that position as an Indra. So the old Indra who lost his position, who was in stress and anxiety, he said, well, what did he do to please you? Lord Vishnu said, he would chant 5 verses from the 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Because he chanted 5 verses from 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita, he pleased me so much, so I gave him Indra-ship. So the old Indra was thinking, I did 100 Aswamedhas, I climbed mountains, I swam in the rivers, I went everywhere, digging wells, planting trees. And I got thrown off my asana because he chanted 5 verses from Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter. But he was an envious person. He was an intelligent person, and he knew whatever the Lord wants, that's what's important. So if that's what does the job, then that's what I should do. So he turned his form into a Brahmana form, and he came down on the earth looking for someone to teach him the 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita. And he found in a place called Kaleshwar Temple in Kanakanagar. There was an old Brahmana who was very expert in 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita. And he taught the previous Indra 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita, and he would chant the entire 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Then, because of chanting the 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita, he became completely free of all stress and anxieties. He could realize what was the purpose of life, to go back to God. He became detached from all the worldly things. The Vishnu Dutas came from the spiritual world to take him. They said, what do you want? Do you want to be Indra again? He said, no. What's the use? One day you're Indra, next day you're out. I want to go back to the spiritual world. You go there, you don't have to come back ever again. Naapnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhing paramam gatha. And he got on the special Biman of Vishnu and went back to the spiritual world, leaving behind all these lesser gifts like being an Indra. So he became a very wise person, and he could realize what was valuable and what wasn't valuable in life. If we understand that all we have to do to be successful in life is please the Supreme Lord, that's all we have to do, then naturally we can become peaceful by pleasing the Lord. It's not very difficult to please the Lord. Yajna vai Vishnu. We should perform some sacrifice for Vishnu, and then He will take us. So in every yuga there is some sacrifice which is recommended. In Satya Yuga, Krite Dayatong Vishnu, it was meditation. Tretayam Yajata Makai, in Treta Yuga it was home yajna. Then Dwarprayam Paricharjayam, in the Dwapara Yuga it was worshipping in the temple. Kalotad Hari Kirtanat. And in Kali Yuga is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That chanting process is easiest way to purify the consciousness, to please Vishnu, and to become please Shiva, please everyone, and Vishnu's please all devatas become pleased. In this way, one can easily achieve the success in life. Eighteenth chapter is considered the cream of all the chapters of Bhagavad Gita. But many devotees, they only read up to the 9th chapter, 10th chapter, they're not getting up to the cream. They're not getting up to the nectar chapter. Lord Shiva, just when he heard about 18th chapter from Parvati, he became very happy. He said by reading the 18th chapter, one can get free from all the 108 diseases that plague the human being. One can get rid of all misfortune in life. One can achieve all success in life and go back to the spiritual world. what you cannot achieve by studying 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita. And every chapter of Bhagavad Gita has such mahatmyas. Actually, we should read all of the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, because each chapter has got special blessings. And when you read all the 17 and then you come to the 18th, that has got a special potency. So in the verse that we read today, the one who is not connected with the Supreme and Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? So if we don't fix our mind in Krishna, we won't get peace. This is the significance. And if we can't have peace, then how will we have happiness? How will we be out of stress or anxiety? So if we want to get peace of mind, if we want to be happy, we want to avoid stress, we have to be able to elevate our consciousness and bring it to the spiritual platform sometimes. Taking the consciousness down into tamas will not help. That is illusion. That simply makes things worse. Ruins our health, ruins our intelligence. It is a ruining factor. Where if one uses their intelligence and chants Hare Krishna, very carefully engages the mind and senses in Krishna's service, then you can achieve the complete mercy of the Lord. For one satisfied in Krishna consciousness, the threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is soon well established. Prasade sarva dukhanam hani an asyopajayate prasanna chetaso hyasu buddhi paryavatishtate. When we get the mercy of the Lord, sarva dukhanam hani, all the sufferings are destroyed. How many of you want the mercy of Lord? How many of you want suffering? How many like to have all suffering destroyed? So how many of you know what is the easy way to remember the Lord? What is the secret? Tell me. Chanting what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So there's a secret formula. When we understand that Lord is our protector, He is our guardian, He is the controller of everything, we simply engage in His service. If we engage fully in His service, we also become fully protected and fully blissful. We have to learn to take our mind and take the senses off of sense gratification, put in Krishna's service. Take the mind off of the objects of the senses, engage the mind in hearing about Krishna. In this way we become naturally, internally satisfied and peaceful. So this is the goal. We hope all of you can achieve it very quickly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You have a question and answer? you write it or you just speak? Anybody has a question? Yes, what's your question? Anuradha, you have a question? I don't think that video camera is filming. There's usually a red light goes on. Can someone check, does it say record inside it? It's just on standby. Huh? So, any question? See, I was in anxiety. It's not filming. How do I get rid of the anxiety? By knowledge. One thing is you have to move in the front, the lens is a little sloppy. You have to move that lens. So, yeah. Yes. Question. While chanting. In the morning or the afternoon. You feel sleepy. Get enough sleep. Well, sometimes you get sleepy if you chant after you eat. Also, chanting and feeling sleepy is a sign of advancement. How many have ever experienced that symptom of advancement? When you chant and feel sleepy, that shows that your stress is being removed, right? You're going in the mode of goodness, your stress, anxiety is removed, you're feeling relaxed. First symptom is, sleepy. But then you have to go on a higher level. Beyond that, till you come to dynamic goodness, where actually you feel more energy. So then you had to keep on chanting. You went up to the first level, relaxation. You want to go beyond that to ecstasy and bliss. So sometimes you have to get up and walk. Sometimes you have to chant louder. Sometimes you take a 5-minute nap. Just take a micro nap, 5 or 15 minutes, and then go back. There are different techniques. But at least the chanting has worked to take away your stress. You're feeling sleepy. But now you have to chant and go beyond that to the higher level where you'll get energy. Also, I find like some people, they're sleeping 6 hours, but they're not getting quality sleep because they don't put their head in the right direction. According to Ayurveda, we should have our head to the east or to the south. But many people sleep with head to north or west. And if you sleep in the wrong direction, that can also not give a good sleep. And then even though you sleep, you don't feel rested. Or sometimes people, they're not getting to sleep early enough. And late sleep also is not so restful. We were reading just 2 days ago about Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he would go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. And he would get up at 10. He'd just take 2 hours of sleep. And then from 10 until 4, he'd write all night long. Then he'd take half-hour nap. From 4 to 4:30, then he'd get up for the arti. Then he would read, he'd chant his japa at Brahma Muhurta hour. Then after chanting, then at 7:30, he would read. Then 8:30, he would meet guests. If no guests come, he'd read some more. Then at 9:30 he would take his quick bath. But in the morning before the arati, he'd wash his face, feet, everything. He'd take a bath, and then he'd take a light breakfast and go to work. He was working as a district collector under the British Raj, 1860. So like that. And 2 more times in the day he'd take half-hour naps. He would take these short naps, and that was enough. He was fully awake. What is that? From where? Any other question? How to get rid of anarthas? The process of Krishna consciousness gradually helps us to get rid of anarthas. Those things we also have to try. We know on one hand by chanting we're cleaning the house, and on the other side we use our intelligence and we control the mind. The mind has to be brought under control. Our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, we should take a broom and in the morning we should hit the mind 100 times. In the night we should smash it 100 times with the shoe. Have you done that? You smashed it? You had to beat it down to listen to the intelligence. The mind is very restless. It's going here and there and it goes into very unhealthy, unfriendly places. So we use the intelligence to control the mind. And by controlling the mind, by engaging the mind in Krishna's service, the mind becomes peaceful. That is the way of achieving peace, by going in the mode of goodness, of pure goodness. Yes. Well, that's the other thing. As you advance in Krishna consciousness, then you get a higher level of stress. Transcendental stress. It's called transcendental bliss. Like Mother Yasoda. She's worrying whether the milk will burn over. Where is Krishna now? Is he stealing the butter? Is he feeding it to the monkeys? Is he getting in trouble? The gopis are worrying what's happening to Krishna's lotus feet. His feet are so soft. When we're putting on our chest, they're feeling so soft. How they're going to tolerate the stones of the forest which are so hard. So they're in so much anxiety. But that anxiety, when it's about Krishna, makes the Atma satisfied. And in that happiness, it's because of love. That anxiety due to love is not a problem. But for the Gyanis, they think that this devotee is in anxiety. You should be peaceful. There was one great Acharya, Madhavendra Puri, and he was crying out in separation and love of Krishna, Hey Govinda, He Gopal, He Mathuranath, He Dina Dayadri, Dayalu. And one Gyani came and saw him crying out for Krishna in love. And the Gyani said, why you are in all this anxiety? Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Be peaceful. Think of the impersonal Brahman. But the Madhavendra Puri said, what is this foolish person doing? He doesn't know. I was in the greatest, happiest moment of my life by meditating on Krishna. And he's telling me to meditate on Om Shanti. So, the devotees, they go beyond worrying about stress. They get rid of material stress, but they get anxiety for Krishna. And when we are worrying for Krishna, now this should, when we are anxious to please Krishna, when we're anxious for protecting Krishna's interest, that actually burns away so many bad karmas. That gives us so much spiritual blessing. The Lord is saying, this person is so much concerned about my service that this person is feeling anxiety for my interest. So Krishna says, Jai jata mang prapadyante tang sataiva bhajamyaham. According to how you surrender to me, I reciprocate with you. So if you're feeling anxious for Krishna's interest, then what we can do for Krishna? We can do very little. But still, the devotee is thinking how to protect Krishna's interest. But then Krishna reciprocates. And since you are feeling some anxiety for his interest, then he will take concern about your interest. And what is there that Krishna cannot do for you? So that's why if you are concerned about Krishna and pleasing Krishna and his pure devotee, then Krishna will reciprocate and become concerned about you. Then you have nothing to worry about. So, since we're going to worry anyway, we should worry about Krishna's interest. We should worry how to make our family Krishna conscious. We should be anxious how to make the husband Krishna conscious, how to make the world Krishna conscious, how to do something with this life that we can get back to Krishna, how to serve the Guru. So in this way, this type of anxiety is not an obstacle. And one feels satisfied after feeling this anxiety, but you feel satisfied. It's a purifying consciousness. So, but this is why the Gyanis, they can't understand what these bhakti yogis are doing. Actually, the Gyanis are not having real peace, because their peace can be destroyed very easy. But the devotees, because they have no other desire but Krishna's desire, although it looks like they're having some anxiety, but their anxiety is a form of dynamic peace. Peace in action. Because the devotee doesn't want anything else. See, when we have real lack of peace, is I want something I don't have. Right? That's the anxiety. But when you want Krishna, even though it seems you don't have Krishna, but wanting Krishna and having Krishna is not different. Because on absolute platform, thinking about Krishna and having Krishna is both equal. Wanting Krishna and having Krishna is not different. So when you strongly want Krishna, Krishna is also present in that desire of wanting Krishna. If I want water, until I get the water, my thirst will not be quenched. But if I want Krishna, then I will get Krishna. Just by wanting Him, I will feel close to Krishna. This is the mystery. The lust puts us in trouble. If you don't do your sadhana properly, also you'll be... However best you try, also your sadhana is from bad to worse. Please help us. Yes, if you don't do sadhana properly, it's a cause of material stress. But just like some tree, when it's very weak, how do you get the tree to grow straight? You put the tree next to you, put one bamboo or something and tie it. So it needs a brace. So like that, when our sadhana is poor, it's usually because we are not having a good association. If we get a good association with sincere devotees, then it becomes very easy to practice sadhana. But when we are away from the good association, in materialistic association, and sadhana become very difficult. So you're very fortunate here. There are so many nice devotees. You find some nice devotee who has good sadhana, and you associate with that devotee and learn how they are doing the sadhana. And in this way, your sadhana can also increase and improve. There was someone who was not able to chant. I said, "You come with me and chant." Then I was taking and showing that by chanting with me, they could finish all their rounds. But then that person can't do it, not the right time, I don't feel right, someone else not doing, why should I do? So many crazy ideas are coming in the mind. That's when we have to beat the mind with the shoe and the broom and get the mind to cooperate, so that we can properly chant, hear, and do our sadhana. Once you get us above a certain, it's like when you're flying in the plane, at first you're going through the clouds, it's a bit rocky and bumpy, but then you get above the cloud, it becomes a smooth flying usually. So we have to get above the cloud, above the illusion. You get, in the beginning, a little bumpy ride is there, chanting and everything, but as you go higher and higher, you become in a situation where you can easily chant. So you have to make the effort to get up to that level. In the beginning, there's some extra effort has to be made. Or otherwise, one has to take a long time, either way. So if you make the extra effort in the beginning, then you can advance very quickly. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.